Hey everybody, it's Tim Hinton. I am from Phantom History House. I'm here with Steve Blanchard from Phantom History. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
And we
All
are
the way in the other
here.
room.
Steve, I'm going to let you introduce our special guest. Everybody, if you're watching, put in the comments where you're watching from. Steve, I'll let you introduce Brian and start the conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tim. And I am very happy to introduce Brian Kovalski, also known as Mama, who is an amazing psychic and medium who has been here a couple of times already at Phantom History House, and who I've known for a couple of years now. Brian, before we jump in and we tell people what it is that you do, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a witch from Salem, Massachusetts, relocated to Florida. I belong to my Ravens home tradition, as well as a Cabot tradition in Salem. And I've been reading for over 40 years. I've read for celebrities, A-listers, B-listers. I know you're watching. Politicians, everybody you can think of. I even worked for a police department to find missing children.
Now, how do you, I know you're an authentic Salem witch.
Yes.
How do you describe yourself? Are you a psychic? Are you a medium? Are you both?
I'm both. If you put psychic abilities into a blender and hit puree, that's me. I'm a one-stop shop.
Well, the reason we have you on here today, of course, is not only to get caught up with you, but to remind everybody who's following Phantom History and Phantom History House that you are going to be on site this coming Saturday, offering live readings. This will be your third trip out here to the house.
Yep.
And you offer a variety of readings. I know tarot cards and crystal ball seem to be the most popular.
And bones.
And bones.
Past lives.
I was wondering if you could tell me what the differences are between those types of readings.
So tarot is like the roadmap of your life, from where you come from, where you are today, and where you're headed. If you don't like where you're headed, you can change that. Bones are more selfish. They're more about you as a person. What is broken inside you, and what has been broken but got stronger. It's very emotional reading. Then we have past lives, which explains why you have certain likes, dislikes, fears, phobias in this lifetime from past lives. So you can reconcile those within yourself. Crystal ball is your angels, your higher self, your totems, your spirit animals. It is your highest being of yourself.
And each one of those readings, of course, like you just said, offers different outlook on your life.
Yes.
A lot of people I've talked to will say, I don't want to see a psychic because I don't want to know things. I don't want to know when I'm going to die. That's what they always go.
Let me explain that one. Okay, a good psychic would never tell you that, number one, because that is cruel, cruel, cruel. I don't tell you anything bad that's coming your way that is a lesson for you. It's destined to happen. As darkest before the light kind of situation. Those I will not tell you about, because that's cruel. You have to experience sometimes a little bit of discomfort to have a lot of pleasure.
And I'm glad you say that, because like I just said, a lot of people say that they're afraid of this, and a good psychic will guide you, not tell you what your final destination is going to be.
Bingo.
Which I love.
In a lot of my stores I work at, they call me the psychic therapist. I actually give homework to my clients, because I'm not, you're not sitting down in front of me to give me some money to read your fortune. I get involved the time we have together at that table. I get involved in your life like an active participant.
And I've seen that firsthand. Like I said, we've had you here 2 times already. Looking forward to having you here a 3rd time. And the folks who will visit with you will talk about their homework assignment. I'll hear them chatting on their way out and what the experience is. It's always been amazing. I'm interested in your take on the Phantom History House. We invited you out here to check it out. We're like, it's hard to describe what we're doing here. What is your take?
First of all, it is a must-see destination, just hands down. Whether you stay or not, you got to see this building. The energy, the spirits in there are incredible spirits. The rooms are all themed. These boys put so much time, love, and energy and created the most beautiful thing I've seen in a long time. Right down to even the slightest detail in the bathroom of an old-fashioned vampire kit. You never know. You might dip one by accident.
It's always good to be prepared.
And the owners, I mean, you can't, I brag about these owners, and I brag about all places I go to, but specifically this one. The owners are so welcoming, so loving, so caring, so nurturing, not what you would expect, and in a good way. But you have to meet them. You have to talk to them, hear their stories, see their love for each other, see the love they have for their business.
Well, we definitely appreciate that, and we love having you out here. And I know that the guests we've had have enjoyed readings with you as well.
And I wanted to pop in too, because I want to say, Brian, thank you for those very kind words. Hey, everybody that's watching, you can meet with Brian and have a reading this Saturday. Go to phantomhistoryhouse.com,
Yep.
go to the events page, and you can sign up. You need to sign up ahead of time. Make sure you have a reserved time with him. Brian, we're so excited that you're going to be back to Phantom History House. Steve,
Cannot wait.
going. If you're watching, by the way, tell us where you are in the comments.
And Tim beat me to the punch. Yeah, go to our events page and sign up for your slot. And this isn't going to be the last time you're going to be here. I know we have you scheduled in May as well to come back in.
Yes.
Come back and visit us. What are the reactions you usually get when somebody says that you are a Salem witch? How do people usually respond to that when you say that?
Well, as I can only speak for as a Salem witch. As a Salem witch, we are schooled heavily. We are taught heavily. We don't just go on a robe and go, I'm a witch. We actually do work. We take classes, we take workshops, and classes. Even I offer classes to teach young witches. By young meaning later in life, they realize they have the calling. So when I come from Salem, people usually go, oh. So they expect more from me. No, because the bar has just been raised. That one comment, the bar's been raised, and I love to meet that bar.
And me being such a history nut that I am, of course, when I hear Salem, I think of all the history that's connected to that, bad and very ugly. But it's also, you talked about destinations. Salem itself is a destination.
Oh yeah.
So you having that insight is amazing. Now I wanted to go back to a little bit about the how this process works for you.
Sure.
When you're doing a reading, whether it's with tarot cards or the crystal ball or what have you, how do you describe how that translates for you? Are you seeing things? Are you hearing things? How does it go from that to what you?
The cards. I don't need the cards. I don't need the bones. I don't need the crystal ball. What they do for me is keep me on track, because I could wind up. I'm a gibber, a jabba. I will talk forever. I will spend question an hour just talking about how you were raised, but the cards or the bones or the crystal ball keep me moving through. I hear things, I hear whispers, and I see sometimes to say this, and I see videos. When I sit in front of somebody, I see videos of their entire life. And at 15 minutes of sitting in front of me, I've seen them from birth to death, and all in between.
So it's kind of like a video.
So it's hard to surprise me on Christmas.
Well, and it's and again, watching the little bit that I've seen you do here at Phantom History House, I see that, and people, even folks who come in who may be a little bit skeptical, seem to leave with a kind of an aha moment or a wow moment.
That's my favorite clients, is the ones that say, I don't believe this. My girlfriend's making me do this, my wife and my boyfriend. And when I'm done with them, they're in tears, happy tears, sad tears, and I get a big hug, and they come to me on a regular basis after that. There's strong psychics, there's weak psychics, there's fake ones, there's real ones. You can be very, very careful when you're looking for a psychic.
Absolutely. And Tim and I are fairly new to this world, and we're learning that as we go as well. And we're very grateful that we found you to come here to do readings. And again, if you're just tuning in and watching, Brian will be here this Saturday. And you can book on phantomhistoryhouse.com on our event section in order to book your time with him. And I'm glad you brought that up about how there's good psychics and there's bad psychics, and everywhere in between. What is your advice for somebody to help determine if the person they are working with is good at what they're doing and not just stuff?
First things first, if a psychic ever says to you, or a witch ever says to you during a reading, for X amount of dollars, I can get rid of a curse from you, I can get rid of this from you, get up and walk out. The only thing you should be paying is your reading. That's it, not anymore. In one hand, and the thousands and thousands of people I've read for in 40 years, and I do this full time, so it's a lot of people. In one hand, I can count how many actually had a curse or on them, and you don't charge for that. Yeah, have you buy the supplies, come back to me, we'll do the spell, off you go. You know what I mean? And when it comes to a psychic too, if what you're getting back is very vague, that could pertain to anybody, get up and walk out. Get up and walk out.
Very, very good advice. And another thing I know a lot of people expect or hope for when they see somebody who has the talents that you have is, I want to connect with somebody who passed away, a mother,
Yes.
a father, a long lost love, whoever. How does that work? Because people don't always connect to somebody like that.
Now, there's mediums out there, but my version of mediumship is, first of all, I'll never force a spirit to come. If you're going to come see me and you want to talk to mom, dad, or brother, sister, in your home, wherever you are, out loud, tell that person to meet you at the Phantom House to talk. So they'll be there, and I'll tell you, and you guys can talk back and forth. But I won't force a spirit because it's not fair to the spirit. Instead, I open the doors to the spirit. But again, like I said, I tell all my clients, tell this person you want to speak to meet you at a certain location where the psychic's going to be to talk.
And that itself is very empowering, because I don't think a lot of people realize that they have that ability to say, hey, meet me at Phantom History House on Saturday, because I'm going to have somebody to help.
It works. I always tell people too, people don't realize spirits can't read your mind. So you got to talk to them as if you're having a conversation with me across the table, or your wife, your husband, best friend. You got to talk. Don't whisper. Talk. Tell that loved one where to meet you.
And don't be shy with what you want to know and what you want to hear.
Don't be shy. And I always want people, are you sure you want to know what the spirit's going to say?
Right. Are these entities or spirits that you're able to communicate with for your clients the same now as they were when they were living, or are their personalities different?
Freshly passed are identical. Freshly passed. But over time, the personality stays the same. It really does. Even when you do your past lives, you'll see that your spirit has a common denominator when it comes to your personality traits. They're more at peace. They're more relaxed. And when you're alive, the world's like this. You're on a horse. But when you pass, it's gone. Blinders are gone. So a lot of these people who pass are seeing life in a way they didn't expect to see it. In a good way.
Yeah, totally different perspective, I'm sure, that we can't even imagine what that looks like.
And trust me, a lot of these spirits give a lot of apologies, because when they were alive, they honestly believed the way they raised you or however they interacted with you. They actually believed they did it from a place of love. They didn't break the cycle from their parents and so on, so on, so on. If you go back to my grandparents' day and parents' day, spankings was a norm. And nowadays, you spank a child, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of times when they pass on, one of the first things they do is apologize for that. Once they realize, shoot, I caused some damage.
And the fact that they're aware of that is amazing, because I've always been told that time's different, in different realms. But however, it sounds like they're somewhat aware of that too.
Yeah, time is very different. In the spiritual realm, there's so many layers to it. The higher up they go, the harder it is to communicate with them.
Okay. Now, again, everybody, we still have some slots available this Saturday. If you want to book with Brian, which I highly recommend you do, because what he does is incredible. Before we say goodbye, and I'll let you go, Brian, I wondered if you could share some, and you kind of touched on this, but some advice for anybody who is coming to see you or any psychic or medium who may not be familiar with how this works. I mean, you talked about communicating with the spirit that you may want to talk to and let them know to meet you there. Any other pieces of advice you want to give?
Yes, don't go there playing games. Let me explain that. You get sometimes a client will come in on purpose trying to trip you up. Okay? Don't do that to your psychic. You wouldn't do it to your doctor. You wouldn't go to your doctor and say, my left shoulder hurts, when actually it's your knee. Because you're not going to get the right diagnosis. So be open-minded. Fill your heart with love. And just be you. You sit back and relax and let me do the work. You worked every day, 40 hours a week. Let me do the work now.
I love that. And like you said, you do this professionally. This is what you do
Yeah,
full time. So you
Full-time.
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you to come back out here on Saturday. We love hosting you, and of course your wonderful husband, and having you guys here. So remember, everybody, if you are available this Saturday, which hopefully you are, we have bookings still available for Brian, and we want you to come out, meet in person, and of course check out the Phantom History House, and maybe spend the weekend. That would be fun too.
Oh, definitely. I recommend that. Spend the weekend. My God, even overnight, because the place is amazing, and some in the rooms are all different prices, which is great. Anybody can afford them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention to everybody, is that I would encourage you, like Brian, if I was going to do this and I really wanted to soak up the experience I was going to have, I would maybe come in the night before, have a nice breakfast in the morning, relax around the house, and then when you come in and I'm in that frame of mind, I've been in the space, or conversely, come in, have that reading, and then stay with us that evening, enjoy the house, soak it all up. Either way you do it, or both, everybody, we would love to have you, but I do think it would enhance the experience. Brian, does that make sense?
Oh, I 100% agree with that. If I had a stamp, I like stamp of approval. Stamp of approval. For the atmosphere, like you said, you have the natural ghosts and spirits haunting there. You have the rooms, the alternate themes. You have you guys' love for each other and for the community and your business. You put all, and you have me doing readings. You put that all together, that's one hell of a day. And
adding to the themed rooms, of course, we have the themed guest rooms, but you do the readings in our library space.
I love that room.
Is it working well for what you do?
Yes, I love them. When there at the fish tank, the spirit's walking by, that little boy spirit stares at us at the fish tank for hours and hours and hours. He loves your fish tank.
Well, we love our fish tank too, and we want to keep the spirits here happy. So we will continue to take good care of the fish tank.
So listen, everybody, you can find out more about the rooms. You can go to phantomhistoryhouse.com. That's where Steve and I live. This is this new space that we've created. To find out how to book a session with Brian this Saturday or at some of the other times he's going to be there, click on the events tab at phantomhistoryhouse.com, and then you'll find all of those there, including all the other events we have going on for Halloween now during April. Steve, I'll let you finish the conversation with Brian, and then we'll sign off.
Absolutely. And one more thing, if you do want to follow Brian and check him out in all your locations, follow him on Facebook, because I know you're very good at letting people know where to find you.
Oh, I'm a promo girl. and come for a reading or a spell.
I like both. Thank you, Brian, so much for taking time to talk to us in the middle of the week. I
Anytime.
cannot see you on Saturday, and everybody, hopefully we'll see you here too. phantomhistoryhouse.com, events tab, and we will see you this weekend.
Yes, you will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.